Slashers and Scream Queens, and welcome back to the Horror Daddies Podcast.
A podcast where we talk about horror movies.
And the daddies in them.
And we just got our shit rocked, Carlos, today. We
sure
did it. Because what did we watch
New
today?
York City.
New York City. And we watched Scream
6.
Oh, man. I was really looking forward to this movie.
I was looking forward to this movie, and not only that it met its expectations, I've never left the theater wanting to see a movie over and over again. Mind you, I went to see it twice, and after the second time, I wanted to go back and watch it again. This movie really lived up to its fucking name, and
it blew my expectations, to be honest. I was, I didn't even come up to it expecting it to be bad. I was like, what are they gonna do with it? Like, what is happening? And especially with all the drama that was going on before the movie, it's like, how are they even going to continue? And it fucking did amazing.
They fucking nailed it, bro. They fucking nailed it. I'm so happy this movie did so good. I can't wait for us to get another one if we are.
It's greenlit. 7 is already greenlit, so we're definitely going to be getting another one. I
want to know what they're going to do with it. This was definitely their a love letter to Scream 2.
Oh, definitely.
How Scream 5 was to Scream 1, but even then they did their own thing in this one, because they did say that 5 was their love letter to Wes, and that once after 5 they're gonna do their own thing after that, and they really did. Like, this movie went 3 notches up. So fucking good.
I just love how they were able to remake the second movie and still make it fresh and brand new. Yeah. I love that about it. If of course, guys, if you haven't watched it and you're just listening to see how the movie's doing, I suggest you just go watch it, because
just go.
Yeah, you need to. I think it's a fantastic movie. I've been getting tagged on stuff like people don't seem to like it as much. I was like, really? Like, that's interesting. We can talk about it while the movie's going on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the comments are like, "This is just Scream 2." Like, it's really dumb.
It's not though. So, but people just don't get it. Okay.
Yeah. It's like the Joker meme. You just wouldn't get it.
Like Mindy has to sit there for 5 minutes and do an explanation of the rules and what's happening, and people still don't seem to understand. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
They're remaking pretty much the first trilogy.
The trilogy,
I would say, but in their own way. And 5 was very close to 1, which that's why I'm like, about 5. But this
it's
one
like a requel.
Yeah. But this one is, yes, I saw the homages to 2 everywhere, and it was, and it made me actually like 2 a little bit more. But so much better.
Yeah,
like 10 times better. Like, it was just so good.
Yeah,
so fucking good.
And again, we're gonna just say right now, spoiler alert. So if you haven't watched the movie, you are warned. This movie, it's not only the reveal, it's also like the music, almost the cinematography, the scenarios. It's like an homage to Scream 2, obviously. Yeah.
And I've never been so tense in a Scream movie than this one. Like, I actually was fucking scared for everyone.
Yeah.
Except Samantha. But I was actually very, obviously. But I was I was scared for Tara. I was scared for Chad. I was scared for Mindy the whole entire fucking movie. Because I did not know what the fuck they were going to do to them. And the kills were super brutal. This Ghostface was not giving a fuck about anything.
No, this Ghostface was aggressive. Like, it scared the shitless chase scenes. He was really terrifying. Because, something that I was talking about it is that we don't see this Ghostface like stumbling and like, you know how like in the movies they usually make Ghostface kind of like a dumbass.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get some scenes, but it wasn't like funny. It was like this Ghostface was being fucking aggressive and like jumping over angry. Shit. Fucking it was anger. It was literally just anger.
And we find out why there was anger.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna go through the cast list.
Yeah, and the real quick, and then we're not gonna do this like a normal episode because I don't have the movie right in front of me, and
exactly.
I'm going by what I liked in my head and what I remember. So the directors were obviously Matt Bettinelli, Open, and Tyler Gillette, who directed Scream 5, Ready or Not. Radio Silence. The writers were James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick. The budget for this movie estimated was $35 million, and opening weekend already made $44.5 million, which
got their money back.
And it already surpassed Scream 4's total box office, which is crazy.
Nice. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I still love Scream 4. Anyways, but worldwide so far it's at 67 million, and I'm hoping this movie breaks records. I'm hoping this movie breaks Halloween 2018's record. I'm hoping it just breaks record for horror right now because it deserves it. It fucking deserves it. But yeah, let's go through the cast real quick, and then we can kind of just talk about scenes that we like, stuff that we loved throughout the movie. We'll try to stay in order if we can. If not, we're just gonna talk.
If we miss something, we miss something. It's whatever. So we're gonna go through the cast list. So Courtney Cox, of course, comes back as Gail Weathers. Melissa Barrera comes out as Sam Carpenter. Jenna Ortega as Tara Carpenter. Jasmine Savoy Brown as Mindy Meeks Martin. Mason Goodings, Daddy, as Chad Meeks Martin. Skeet Ulrich, of course, has to come back as Billy Loomis.
Petty.
The classic. Yeah, very petty. I have a lot to say about that. Of course, we have the one and only Roger Jackson, the voice of Ghostface. Dermot Mulroney. I hope I'm saying that right. Detective Bailey. Yeah. Jack Champion as Ethan Landry. Josh Segarra, Danny Barquette.
Yo, I can't wait. My God.
If we had the sound effects, that fish must be pressing all day.
Girl, like, you know how in Scream 1, she upgraded from Billy to Derek? Sam did the same thing, but with a fucking fine Puerto Rican. Oh, I can't. I was wet. But continue.
We have a lot of cast in this movie. So we have Liana Libarto as Quinn Bailey. Devin Nikota as Anika Koyoko. She had me. Hayden Panettiere. Is that how you say her last name?
It's Panettiere.
Oh, Panettiere. Sorry. But comes back as Kirby, baby. We got her back.
Yeah.
Oh, so excited. We also have Tony Rivolori as Jason Carvey. Samara Weavings, mommy, as Laura Crane. Matthew, irrelevant character, but Matthew Goodfrieda, he's a joke. That's the thing. He was a joke throughout the movie. As Paul, Andrew Anthony as Frankie, and then Henry Cizerny, Christopher Stone, Dr. Christopher Stone.
It's a big cast. Yeah, it is. Does it give you who played Ghostface in that under that list?
No. I mean, their characters, not like as Ghostface.
I forgot his name.
Which
one?
Stunt
actor. Ghostface, like the person doing Ghostface throughout the movie. It's never the actual actors under the
That's
the
true,
costume.
actually. That's a
it's
good
always
point.
It's always a stunt man. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I got it. It's Max Leferry.
Yes.
As Ghostface.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he was fucking he was powerful, bro. I really was scared of this one.
Yeah.
And
he was
everybody.
That's everyone in that movie. Everyone did amazing. I really like this cast. This cast was actually very hot too.
There's a bunch of beautiful people. I was like, Jesus, what is happening?
I know. There is Danny. But this cast did amazing. So let's talk about the opening. Because the opening, at first I was like, okay, it's very like, it's okay. It's not that, like amazing. It's very tense because it is Samara Weaving. Like everyone fucking guessed it.
Yeah, we all knew it was her, and we're like, fuck.
But there's a fake out, and that's what got me like, oh, this opening kill's fucking great.
And it's something we talked about. We were like, what if in the opening kill we get to see the Ghostface, and we fucking get it?
Yeah. So
I was like,
Samara Weaving's at a restaurant waiting to meet this guy Reggie. He calls her. He kind of lures her outside. He basically lures her into a fucking alleyway to see if she can see him.
And it seems to be Halloween, right? Because people are dressed up.
It's the day before. I guess people. You know how sometimes I hear in Orlando, like downtown, people already the whole week they're dressing up.
People work on Halloween, so they do parties on the day before.
Yeah, like days before, days after, whatever. But I love that while she's on the phone, you hear the voice changer turn on, and
you hear
like
the
course you're on the phone with him already.
Yep.
And he just starts speaking to her. She is a film teacher. I will say that.
It's specifically for slashers.
Yeah, she's studying. She's doing it. Yeah, she's doing a class on slashers, which I do like what she said about that. How throughout the years, you get to see the tropes and how through decades everything changes. You have more room to do other things, but you also you give voiceless people a voice to do their own arts, and that's what's so great about the slashers, which I really like that, because that's kind of like them saying like, we're making our own movie now.
Exactly.
And enjoy it. Like,
exactly, because it's like, out of the tropes that a slasher movie has, you can always give a voice to the voiceless, and it's like,
right.
Yeah, even though those tropes are always gonna be there, you still can add to it and make your own thing.
And not only that, it's like, out of Scream became its own thing, where it's like Wes Craven always has this little like, we're doing this and Scream had its own tropes in a way.
Yeah.
And they're basically saying like, we're doing it our own way now. We did our tribute to Wes, now it's our turn.
Yeah. And I love that. I really love that about it.
Mm-hmm. So then Ghostface comes out of the blue, stabs her, and it stays on him. It doesn't cut to credits. So I'm like, okay, so what's happening?
And it's like a long, like 5-6 seconds.
Yeah, and he takes off the mask, and I'm like, are we gonna follow the killer now? Like, this is it. Then we're doing it different. And I'm like, okay, I'm actually here for that. Like, I was excited. Super excited. So he walks home, and his name is Jason. He walks home and he bumps into Tara, so he knows Tara. Pretty much his plan was to go after the Carpenter twins, sisters, to finish Richie's movie.
So it seems like either they're like, because you know how Richie in the 5 wanted to make his own version of Scream. Yeah, I wonder if it's that. Yeah. Or stab, or he wanted, or it's like a movie tributing Richie, right? So it could be either or.
I got the sense with his line, I want to what about his movie, that they're just trying to kill off Tara and Sam to finish what Richie started. Yeah. So, in a sense, these. Because I got the sense he's a queer character, because he was doing this with his boyfriend. What I got the sense of.
That's what it seems like. Because it was like seemed like there was only one bedroom. Like it seemed like a couple. Yeah.
So he gets home. He's watching Jason Takes My Hand, which love that little nod there.
Yeah, and his name is Jason. Yeah.
Yeah. They're horror fans. He has a shrine to stab. He gets a phone call from his lover Greg, and it turns out to be Ghostface. Ghostface is fucking with him, telling him more warmer, colder, and then
that's the thing,
got chopped up.
Yeah, because we don't know throughout this opening if it's actually Greg or if it's Ghostface, because he's even
they're doing this.
Yeah, well, it's also like he asked him like, where do we meet? Like, you tell me, and he knows the information, so he's like, oh, okay, so it's Greg. But then it's like, you have to find me, and I'm warm, and it's like getting warmer through the fridge.
Yeah,
like, you're like, oh fuck, like what's happening here?
Yeah, which is such a nod to Friday the 13th, part 2. I feel like when Alice finds Pamela's head in the fridge, but yeah, Ghostface attacks, stabs the fuck out of this kid, and then this kid's like, oh, what about the movie? And honestly, this line was chef's kiss. Ghostface goes, who gives a fuck about movies? And then it cuts to the title card and his voice, and I was just like, holy shit,
who gives a fuck about the movies? It's like, whoa.
Yeah, so let's talk technically there was already two Ghostfaces that got fucking murdered by another one. Yeah, like it's so meta, I guess, or like fuck, it's just fucking great. Like,
it's like you said, Scream 4. It's like the Scream 4 opening, where it's like different opening scenes. Yeah, like we thought we had one. Nope, there was a fucking another one.
So and I was thinking about this, I'm like, so these two kids were gonna do it was supposed to be their Scream 6, but obviously this killer took away that from them, and I'm like, I'm glad, because their motive, oh, let's finish Richie's movie, like it would have been super bad.
Yeah. So, and you know what I love is that it sets up, because it's also like, this Ghostface does not give a fuck about whatever movies is happening. They're not interested in that. So it sets up that this one's motives are already completely different from every other one.
Yeah.
So it's like,
he's out for blood. Yeah. It's so good. It's just this opening was so good. Top, honestly, probably second favorite opening.
Yeah, this was a really good one.
So
This
good.
it sets up the movie perfect. It does everything what an opening kill should do, and I think they fucking nailed it because they didn't only set up.
Hard.
They didn't only just nail the movie, like the setting of New York. Like they also set up the plot of the movie, and they did it both so masterfully without even like I feel like not even trying, because it didn't feel like they were trying hard to like convince us that we were in New York. Like he killed Samara Weaving, blended in with the people because there's so fucking many people in New York, and it's like it was like
it's
nothing,
not Woodsboro,
like nothing happened.
where somebody could have just seen him and oh shit, it's
it
so good. Her kill was very I know what you did last summer in the alleyway. No one notices. It was really good.
Loved it.
So we get our title card. We cut to we meet up now with Sam. She's in therapy. This scene's very funny because the therapist is trying to get through to her, and she doesn't trust anyone, obviously. But then he eventually gets through to her, and she's like, "You want me to be honest? I'll be honest. I murdered my boyfriend because he tried to murder me, and I stabbed him 22 times and then slit his throat." And the therapist is so like,
okay.
Now I see there's something wrong. Yeah.
And then because he tells her, you need to open up because you're being closed off. So she tells him, my dad is a serial killer. I killed my boyfriend. My boyfriend's a serial killer, blah, blah. And then she says it, I'm not here because of what happened. It's just, it felt right to do. And she's afraid of that. And then he immediately is like, I'm going to have to call the cops because, person of interest. It's like they have intentions, which is true. Because if you have intentions of hurting somebody, they're legally required to report that. So it's like,
so this movie's playing a lot with will she or won't she? Will she or won't she be the next Ghostface or whatever the fuck, or serial killer? Will she follow in her daddy's footsteps? Which I was very like, if they're gonna play on this, either do it or just stop and don't do it. Yeah. Because every franchise does this where the kid goes crazy and then the next movie comes and they ignore it. It's like it never happened.
Because it's like, I understand the idea of like, she has that hereditary like nature of her of like wanting to kill or whatever. And she sees her father, obviously, but she's a good person. Billy wasn't a good person. Billy was a shitty person. So it's like that dilemma that she feels bad for feeling that way, which I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. My thing is that every time they mention Billy, my father Billy was a serial killer. And it's like, yes, bitch, we all know who Billy is. Yeah. We get it.
Yeah. But I will say I do like her in this movie more than I did in 5.
Yes.
I feel like
I actually felt
more
bad.
Character development. Yeah, like I actually felt for her. And listen, I've never wanted to be in a throuple so bad in my entire life.
I was like, these two are like really hot. Like everyone that
together.
When we were hanging out, everyone was like, my God, Sam and him are just like two hot people. Like this is a lot.
I've never wanted to be in a throuple with another woman before, but here I am. Oh my God.
So the whole story of what happened with Sam is that now they're killing her character, which is like everyone online is saying that she killed Richie and they're kind of framing her. Like they're not believing that Richie was Ghostface.
Someone started a rumor about it. Random rumor that started on a Reddit, Facebook, whatever. And of course now all of America believes that she's the one that did the murders and that Richie was innocent.
Yes.
Which that's where I started. I don't want to talk about the reels right now, but this movie is like the clues are there. It's just like you don't expect it because I wasn't expecting that dynamic.
The dynamic surprised me. Like
I expected these people, but not the dynamic they had.
Yes,
if that makes sense. So we meet her roommate, Quinn, redhead, love her.
She's great.
She's very great. She has a guy named Over, and then I love Sam's like, is that Paul? And then you hear the guy in the back, who the fuck is Paul?
Yeah, and she's like always here, like she's like, you know what I realized? I need to be free and I can do whatever I want. And it's like,
I love her energy.
She a hoe, but she loves it.
I sex positive. I love her.
Sex
energy.
Positive. Oh yeah, that joke was pretty funny.
Yeah. So
but yeah,
she then. Yeah,
what is it?
Sorry,
Tara went to a party, right?
Tara went to a frat party that she told Sam she wouldn't go to. So then Sam sets off to go find Tara. Mm-hmm. Tara's at this frat party. Chad's here. Ethan, Anika. Is it Anika?
Yes, Anika. Yeah,
Anika. And Mindy. So we're catching up now with everyone. Chad is shirtless as a cowboy, and I was drooling again.
He's very fine.
Yes, and then...
And he's talking to Ethan because Ethan's like the shy guy, and he's like interested in a girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm, so he's just trying to be a good wingman.
Yeah.
And
I do like this party here.
Announced that it's 6 months after the first one, right?
Not yet. I think it's announced later. Oh, when they get sent to what's that thing? The police station.
Yeah, that's true.
Interrogation. No, but I do like here because they mentioned Beta Zeta Beta. Zeta Beta. Wow.
Omega.
Beta. Omega Zeta Beta. There we go.
Yeah.
I couldn't fucking say it. Which is a nod to Scream 2, obviously.
Yeah.
CC. But yeah, then Tara's gonna go upstairs with this drunk guy named Frankie. Chad stops them. Love that Sam comes out of nowhere and tases his dick.
I love that. I love that she's cool. Like, I'm gonna tase your dick, and he's like, what? And just fucking does it.
Yeah.
But so then everyone starts going, oh, that's the killer. That's the Ghostface killer thing. And everyone immediately starts recording her. And it's like, you see how it affects her life everywhere she goes.
Yeah, which it honestly made me feel super bad for Sam.
Like, I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah. So they're in New York because Tara came to New York for college. And I'm assuming Mindy and Chad did the same thing. But Sam came to keep an eye on her sister. They all have fucking trauma they're dealing with, but they're all coping in different ways. Tara seems that she's going the route of alcohol, like drinking and partying and trying to live her life to the fullest because you just never know when you're gonna die. But then Sam is being more careful, like watching her surroundings, who's following her, stuff like that. So they get into a little bit of an argument here. We go back to the apartment where Quinn gives a story of how her brother died and her dad followed her to
because she feels bad. She's like, I relate to that because my dad was so up my ass as well. Because when my brother died, we moved and he's never let me go. Like he was always worried about me.
So already at this point, I was like, Quinn, murderer.
Yeah. And I knew the motive. I was like, oh, this is what they're doing. Man.
Yeah. So. Because also in Scream 2, they had this thing where Hallie was going to be the murderer, which was Sydney's roommate. Oh. And they didn't do that. So now they're doing it here. And I was like, oh, and you a redhead? I know you crazy. I seen Chucky.
Yeah,
just kidding.
That's true.
But yeah, so here I was already suspecting Quinn. That was my first suspect in that here. Chad comes in the room. They have a very, very sweet moment. They're about to kiss, and they also get cock blocked by Quinn, which I was like, even more. I was like, killer. Cock blocking my mains.
She's doing it. Exactly. Yeah, and my girl, Jenna. Like, come on. I love all the references to Wednesday. I forgot that Wednesday was like a thing already. So
Yeah. And then Sam's downstairs kind of just thinking things, and then cute boy from across the hall walks in, who she doesn't know. She told her roommate she don't know him. She's not ready for a romance. So then I'm like, okay, but I was like, ooh, is this like where they meet? They kind of start, and then she grabs him and kisses him, and I was like, what in the grinder?
I was like, damn, what's happening?
I was like, what in the grinder is going on? Because only this happens on Grindr. You just see someone and this just starts happening. But apparently,
baby, in New York City. In New York City, anything goes.
I know. So, like, they already knew each other. They already been sleeping together. They're kind of a thing. And she just hasn't told anyone because she doesn't want them to, like, I guess, judge her. But this man, the way he speaks.
Yeah, the way he's, like, very sensual.
Oh, my God. I was fucking losing my fucking mind. He is so fine.
Carlos was next to me, and he was just, like, squirming. He was like, oh, my goodness.
Talk to me that way. Ooh. But they Chad calls them up because there's something going on. There's an emergency. They go upstairs, and then I love that he walks in, and the Quinn is like, "Oh, cool, cute boy, hey." Like,
Because he's randomly there.
Yeah, he goes upstairs with Sam, but it's on the news about the 2 kids that got murdered by Ghostface Mask. So Sam is like, "We're leaving in 10 minutes." Which
she's like, "We're moving out of town."
Tara doesn't want to leave because her college education or whatever,
and she doesn't even think they're connected.
Right, it's very, very Scream 2. It was the same thing. So like, Quinn then calls her father, who is the police officer Bailey. That is her dad. He's on this case. Sam gets a call from Gail. She ignores it, but then she talks to Officer Bailey. Is it Bailey?
So,
am I saying it right?
Bailey. Yeah.
Okay.
Detective Bailey. Same shit.
Detective Bailey. I didn't want to get it confused with Chucky, because in Chucky is Officer Bailey. I wonder if that's a nod.
Maybe. So it's detective. But.
Detective Bailey, and then we find out that the mask that was left, it was her. Well, her license was left behind, and the mask that was left behind belonged to Richie, which I was like, oh shit. Okay, so they're leaving behind like little treasures,
little nods.
Yeah. So,
and it reminded me. My girlfriend was saying that like it's like Scream 3 that Roman was leaving pictures of this
Maureen.
girl. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of like a little reference, because we do find out later that he's dropping off the mask from the original killers.
Yeah, and counting down to 1, because they're going in order of newest to oldest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot to mention, before they even, because they go downstairs to go to the police station to questioning, but this is when the bodega attack happens.
Oh yeah, it's like right away.
Yeah, so she gets a call, and the call is coming from Richie's number, and she never deleted it. She answers it. She's going in at Ghostface's side. She's like, "I don't know what the fuck you trying to do, but like the last time that happened, you got fucking murdered. So I wouldn't even try it again." Ghostface comes out of nowhere and tries to fucking stab Tara. They get away. They end up in the bodega. This motherfucker kills 3 people in the bodega, and this scene reminded me so much of Jurassic Park from the kitchen scene with the raptors. It was so. But in a slasher way. Yeah, they're hiding at the end of a fucking aisle, and Ghostface has the shotgun, and they're trying to, get away. It's very fucking tense. I was just like, what's about to happen?
This one got me away because the way the she's talking mad shit, and the fact that Ghostface just in the middle of an open just comes up and just grabs Tara, it scared the fucking shit out of me, because I was not expecting that.
Yeah, because it's like you said, the city is so populated, like, who cares what happens? It's like what happens in the subway later.
Yeah.
So yeah, then they do get out of the bodega. This is when they found out it was Richie's mask that was left behind, and I think the other mask was Amber's, because there were 2 masks. I think it was left. Both. Yeah. So they don't know what to do. The FBI shows up, and it's Kirby. They know each other from high school. Sam was a freshman, Kirby was a senior, and that Kirby takes a liking into Ghostface killings.
It's like she knows that trauma.
Yeah,
she got that trauma.
But the girls want to leave. They can't leave the city, but they leave the station, and this is when all the news reporters are outside. Gail Weathers shows up. Elle Weathers ended up writing a book, even though she said she wasn't going to. I know I don't know how to feel about Gail's character in this movie, in the sense of that she went from being, in the last movie, she was like very regretful and like a bit nicer about things that happened and stuff, and now she's a complete bitch again. Yeah. But I see it as she lost the one and only man she probably only loved. So, and even though at that moment she was saying how she's not gonna write a book about it, I guess in resentment and anger and surviving and trying to make money, she just ended up still writing a book about it. But I do love that Sam goes to punch her and she misses.
Yeah.
Tara out of nowhere just claw.
It actually gets her. The thing about Gail Weathers, it's like obviously I find her always. So I'm like, this bitch always tries to profit off this. I get it. But my thing is like, who knows if in the book she wrote it because of Dewey, obviously. She lost Dewey, and it's like she wanted to kind of do right by him because in Scream 2, because we do get a nod of Scream 2 here, she wrote Sam kind of being like the damsel in distress and whatever the fuck, and it's like how Dewey was like incapable cop in the second one. So maybe in this book she talks him up, like we lost him, but he was such a hero.
We don't know what she wrote about Dewey, because her thing when she talked to Sydney, she said she was gonna write a book about Dewey, just about Dewey and how great of a person he is. But instead she writes a book about the events, calls Sam unhinged and out of control. But we just don't know what she said about Dewey. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, Bitchy Gil Weathers is such a vibe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So like, it's whatever to me.
It's like that's part of her character. Even if she can still be like like she feels bad about it, but she has her own motives. Like, and you just also don't get to see that.
I love Gil Weathers, but at this point, it's not even about her anymore. Like, we're moved on to new characters. So yeah, so she's a side character now. She's a legacy character pretty much. They're left to the side for most of the movie now.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So yeah, this is when they go back. I think they end up back at the apartment. They're just gonna hang out together at the apartment, and I think this is when, this is when they have a moment here. All the core four, because it's Chad, Mindy, Tara, and Sam. They see on the news that Sam is a suspect for the killer. They're thinking that she's the one doing these things because she also got into a kind of a altercation out in the street earlier in the movie, and it got recorded. Very fucking nowadays.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, and then they have a very moment how Chad Chad's character in this movie is probably one of the best, because he tells them like, we're a team. We're all here dealing with our shit differently, but we're together, and that's all that matters. And this moment between all four of them is just so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it was needed. It was definitely needed, because in the last movie, it felt like no one liked each other.
Yeah, and it's my thing is that this one is also Chad is like the Dewey of the group, where he's like, he uplifts everybody. Like, he may have his issues, but Dewey was always like the one that kept hope in the group, and I feel like that's what Chad was in this one. Like, and then you got Mindy being Randy, and then of course you got Sam being Sydney, and Tara being Gail.
Yeah, because she's kind of a Chad, so
so it's like maybe she'll start maybe she'll have a podcast about the events in the next movie.
I have a theory about the next one that's kind of like, whoa, but we'll see. But yeah, this is when we got a shirtless scene with Danny, and let me tell y'all, thank you, Radio Silence, we needed that in Scream.
Yeah, they knew.
God. He could have stayed off with it. I don't know why he had to put a shirt on for this scene, but he sees Ghostface across the hallway, and I was like, Josh, just Danny, just keep your shirt off while you see Ghostface, just wave. But anyway, but yeah, he sees Ghostface in Quinn's room. And I love that I heard you next to me. Oh, my theory's out of it.
I was like, oh, never mind.
I heard you. I was like, but yeah, he's in Quinn's room. He leaves. As they're having a moment, he calls Samantha. She's not answering, because she does confess to them that she's sleeping with the cute boy across the hall.
And everyone's like,
oh my God, we fucking knew it. Yeah, they all like, we fucking knew it. But this is when they hear Quinn, and they're like, oh, she's just having sex again, because I guess that's her thing. Like, she's loud and they know it.
Yeah, you always hear them.
Right, but then they hear help. Jonathan, this scene.
It's a good scene, man.
This scene is so good too. They run over to go to her room. Chad grabs Tara because she's about to open the door, and they're all just staring into her room. They don't know what's going on. We're hearing screaming, and they're all tense. And then it gets quiet. It gets quiet for a few seconds, and you're just like, what's about to happen? And then Mindy says, run, and Quinn gets pushed out of the room covered in blood.
The whole room is covered in blood. It's like, oh, shit.
Yup. And fucking Ghostface comes out and he starts attacking them. Tara and Chad run out the front door down the stairs. They leave Mindy, Sam, and Anika behind. Sam goes to grab knives. They're all fucking gone. And Mindy gets cut in the arm. Oh, people did get cut in the arm. Mindy did. Even though she's not a...
Yeah, Mindy technically gets in the hand, and I was like, okay, it can't be Mindy. No, but that theory's out of the question.
They get cut in the arm a lot in this movie. But yeah, then Anika tries to kind of save Mindy, but this Ghostface just fucking picks her up by her neck and just drags her, and not even drag her. He like literally lifts her and just in air, just puts her against the wall and just stabs her in the stomach. And
that's when I start crying. And
yeah,
twisting the knife and shit.
I felt so bad for her.
Like she got it so bad for no reason, bro.
Right. It's for the tension, baby. Because then Sam's like, fuck, I don't got a knife, so she uses the knife holder to fucking block Ghostface in the fucking head.
The girl in the back was like, yeah, beat his ass.
Yeah. They run into the room. They have the door. They're holding the door. He's trying to get in. He's really trying to get in.
He's like kicking and fucking with his body, like shoving in. It's so fucking rough. Like it's crazy.
But then this is one of those apartments where there's another exit through the bathroom to the room. So he tells Mindy, the bathroom. We find another dead body in the bathroom, which was Paul 2.0. Sorry, Paul.
Rest in peace.
And rest in peace. And then Ghostface is trying to get through that door, and it's just so fucking good. This is when she sees Danny across the way. She opens the window. It's a far drop, but he passes them a ladder. And this is that ladder scene. And this scene is just so fucking tense. Ghostface is still trying to break through. Right. Ghostface is still trying to break through the fucking room. Sam gets across. Then Mindy tells Anika to go, but Anika's like, no, you go first. Mindy goes, and then Anika's going, but then Ghostface gets into the room, and he starts fucking shaking the ladder pretty much to her death. And this shot here of Samantha and Mindy looking down, I don't know if it's just me, but it reminded me of Deep Blue Sea with the with the shark and the whole ladder thing happening. Which I was like, is that
maybe
on purpose or accidental?
It could be.
But it's very spot on. It's so crazy.
But man, I feel bad for Anika. Like I love that her makeup kind of looked like Amber's makeup in the first movie. With the eyes fucked up.
She falls and she hits the dumpster and then flies off of that, and then you just see her face all fucked. Such a great kill.
Yeah, this was a fantastic chase scene. Like just how aggressive Ghostface is being. Like it's just that he does not give a fuck, and it's so disorienting because there's just so much happening, and then the fact that he's just kicking the door, and then when Anika's trying to go through the ladder, he's just taking his sweet old time and just shaking the ladder. It's just so intimidating.
Like it's not like he's in a rush to kill her. Like he knows she's gonna die, but he's shaking it like to fuck with her and to give her more fear. And he's so fucking mean.
Yeah. And this is where everyone's outside because the police department gets there, and Ethan shows up late, like running. He's like, "What happened? I'm sorry that I'm late." And Mindy looks at him. He's like, "You're number one on my fucking list." And then he's like, I was in class or whatever. And
yeah, sure you were.
Everyone's excuse always.
Yeah. So then fucking Detective Bailey comes out crying because obviously his daughter just got murdered. And they're like, you know what, we need to get this fucking son of a bitch. And Gail shows up, Kirby shows up. This is when kind of Gail and Kirby kind of like see each other for the first time after 2011. And she's like, "You're not the FBI, you're just a child." And it's like,
she's like, "I'm 30."
Really
she's like, I'm 32 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. But this is when Gail shows them the shrine. This is when we go to the shrine. And this scene was just so good. This is like, it's just nostalgia up the ass in this scene. Cause it's like everything's there from 1 through 5. And Jill's outfit's there. And Kirby looks at it with teary eye. And it's very sad. Like, your best friend tried to kill you.
She looks at the knife that stabbed her.
Yeah, the knife is there. Fucking Randy. Everything's there, guys. Everything from all the previous movies that you just recognize is there. Everyone's having their moments here, kind of. And then Samantha goes to the stage where we have all the Ghostface cloaks set up, and she goes to her father's. And this is when we see Billy, which I was like, Billy,
They need to. We did though. Yeah. They got this fucking Star Wars ass Ghost Force of fucking Billy Loomis. My thing is that like my man's old, bro. Like y'all need to like hire somebody that looks younger and just voice over with Billy Loomis's voice. If you guys really want to do that. But I would have been fine with her just hearing her voice like a whisper. Like if it's like a whisper on her shoulder. Yeah. And it's always there.
I think here was a little better because it's through a reflection of glass.
So you don't really see him that much.
A mirror, yeah. Excuse me, but yeah, I hope it's done after this movie because of what happens later. But yeah, she sees him. This is when I forget what happens here. I know they all kind of like, oh, it's a shrine. They're kind of talking about it. This is when Gale and Sam have a very sweet moment because, you know, Sam feels alone and Gale's kind of like, you know, well, fuck your mom. It's not about who your real family is. It's about who you make a family with, even if it's just one person. And we get Dewey's theme song.
And I was like, fuck, don't do this to me now.
Yeah, because I know Tara doesn't want to be of this legacy. Like, she doesn't want to be a part of this. And she's, you know, she feels bad for this too. So then this is, I think after this, we cut to the we didn't even talk about the college scene where Mindy gives the rules, which is, they're not in a sequel to a Rico, they're in a franchise. So everything's bigger, budgets, all this. Anyone can die. Everyone's a suspect, even Ethan, because Ethan ended up being Chad's roommate. And they're like, anyone can juke that and become Chad's roommate. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, Quinn, your dad's a cop. You can hide anything, blah, blah, blah. Well, even blah.
Quinn, because it's like, why do you choose her as a roommate? Like, And it's like, well, it was anonymous. So, like, it didn't matter.
And then she looks at Anika, you know, rest in peace now, Anika. And she's like, never trust the love interest. Because that's Mindy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, that was that. I forgot to talk about that scene because that's always like the Scream thing. We got to explain the rules of where we at. What are we doing now? But yeah, I know. Then after, I think another scene that I like is that they're gonna try to catch him. So they do like this thing where they're at the park. It's very Scream 2 with Randy, and then they were out in public. There's a white van, but now the niece and the nephew are inside of the white van with Kirby, which is very ironic.
Yeah, and she even says it. But she even says it. It's like, my uncle died here, exactly in the van. You're suspicious. Like,
right.
Like, it's like Kirby. Could Kirby be the killer? Who knows?
I don't know. And then Chad is like, Ethan, you're not going anywhere. You're staying next to me the whole day.
Yep.
Yeah. So then they get a call from Ghostface. They trace it. And Ghostface is on the other side of the city on West 96, which is where Gale lives. So Gale now is all alone. So their plan is kind of a fail. They rush Sam and Tara, steal Bailey's car, the cop car. They put on the sirens and they go on their way. Gale gets the phone call, the first phone call ever in the franchise. And I love that Ghostface is like, this is long overdue. Like, they knew she's never gotten a phone call, which is fucking awesome.
And then I love that he tells her, like, you had so much potential. Like, Sydney never made sense to be the killer, but you would have been perfect. And it's like, damn, that's not true.
Under her shadow. Yeah, because you lived under her shadow and this.
Like,
and
your career was made because of her.
Yeah, which honestly, that would have been a cool motive. Like, I want my career needs to continue, so I need another story. So you need to die,
dude. Like, that would have been like,
that would have been. Oh my god. Anyways, so Gale, her boyfriend gets murdered. Honestly, another iconic chase scene with Gale. This scene Gale was so needed good. Another. This scene is just as good as part 2 with Gale, or if not even better. She runs around her apartment trying to get away from him. She grabs the gun. She hits him with a pan. Then they kind of have a debacle. She gets stabbed like 3 times, and I was actually scared.
Yeah,
I was like,
damn.
Oh no, she's done. She's dead. Yeah. She gets stabbed in the shoulder. She gets stabbed in the leg. She gets stabbed in the stomach with a glass shard.
Like
I was like, I was like, oh, Gale is done. But then Sam and Tara show up. And I tell you, before Sam and Tara showed up, I was like, they're going to do it. Gale is done. and people are gonna be pissed. But she kind of dies in a sense.
So she tells tells Sydney that he didn't get me. So she closes her eyes and then she stops breathing. But then the nurse comes over, or the EMPs, and she had a weak pulse. So I was like, okay, she's still alive. So there's still a possibility. And then we don't see her for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but she is alive. I want to talk about how during this scene, she's on the phone with Ghostface, and they kind of pull like from Scream 5 when Sydney goes, "I'm bored," and Ghostface like, "What?" Yeah. They do the same thing where she was smart because she has the gun and she can't find him, and she's on the phone and she's like, "Hey, give me a second." And you hear Ghostface going, "What?" And she basically calls him back to hear the phone ring, and she shoots that way, and that's when they get into like the real fight, and she gets stabbed. But it was so good because I was like, smart on you, fucking smart on you.
And she does mention it because it's like Sydney's the survivor, the heart of the series. What does that make you? And she goes, the brains and the sex appeal. And that's when exactly right after that she does that move, and it's like, that bitch smart, bro. She's smart.
Yeah, super smart. So then the kids are all united. Danny shows up, very suspicious because Danny lived by Gail. Well, not lived. He worked by Gail's apartment. So Sam's plan was to try to get him to see if he can help, but he shows up now, very sus. But I will say in this scene, because this is when they call Detective Bailey, they come up with the plan to trap the killer in the shrine and kill him that way. I looked at Ethan and I said, Ethan is wearing a blue shirt, but over his blue shirt, he's wearing a jacket that has red plaid. Now, either I can just be overthinking it because they fucking do this in this franchise every movie, but I was like, at this point, I sat there and I said, Ethan's the killer. He's wearing red plaid. I know this sounds very fucking biased of me, but I'm going to go with that. And I learned my lesson after every movie. He's the killer. He's
because it's true.
And he looks like a young Billy Loomis, in my opinion. So,
well, even that one scene, I was like, he's kind of muscular. It's
when they were giving the rules, he's sitting there, and I'm looking at his arms, and I'm like, he got muscle on him. I see.
Yeah, he's not like a weak link. Like no, he can do it if you wanted to.
Yeah, he's just done. He's the nerd. But then I'm like, but then Chad is with him. But I know there's always going to be more than one. So it's like,
it could be the other one.
At this point, I was like, yeah, Ethan's one of them. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stick to it. So then this is when we get the famous subway scene that everyone's been waiting for.
The teaser trailer, which it tricked us. I'm right there. Look, I'm right there.
I'm in the shrine waiting for you, motherfucker. Hurry up.
I'm on my way, Carlos. I'm on my way.
But they get separated. So Tara, Danny, Sam, and Chad are on one subway train, and then Mindy and Ethan end up taking another one. So this whole scene is fucking tense. This whole scene, you're just on the edge of your seat because you don't know what's gonna happen. The lights keep going on and off in the subway. Fucking, there's ghost faces everywhere because it's Halloween. Because earlier in the movie they established how there's gonna be the ghost face costume was like really fucking high on the market this year for Halloween. And then the four are in a stop, and these people are getting off, and this Ghostface starts walking towards them, and this when Danny does Papi Chulo and steps in front of Ghostface like, "What are you gonna do, motherfucker?" And I was like, "Whoo,
protect
Danny.
Me."
Yes.
But you know what's one thing why I knew it wasn't this Ghostface?
The mask,
the fingernails.
Oh. I can't see.
You don't see it right there? Wait, I'm trying to see. Like right there?
Oh.
They're painted.
Oh.
They're green and blue. And I was like, I feel like Ghostface wears gloves.
That's true. They always do. That's true.
There you go.
But it is very like, oh shit. But then we cut to Mindy. Same thing. Lights on and off. Very fucking tense.
And the Ghostface keeps getting closer and closer. Yeah. And I was like, fuck.
And she's super nervous. She's trying to stay away from Ethan, a.k.a. Ghostface, as she calls him. And he's playing super innocent, like, oh, hey.
Well, he keeps staring at her. And it's like, it could be either he's concerned or he's creepy. And it's like, fuck, we don't know.
Yeah. And then she ends up at the end of one of the subway carts. like she's at the end of it, and there she notices this Ghostface sitting there looking down, and then the lights go off and on, and now he's staring. And then it's that scene where it's like he's getting closer as the lights going on and off, and it's fucking creepy. And I know you thought that it was just gonna be like one of those. It's like a psychological thing. They're not gonna do anything. Nope, John. I'm sorry, you were wrong, baby.
I was wrong.
She gets fucking stabbed here.
I was like, damn, they showed us that.
And I was like, oh my god, they're gonna kill her, out in public like they did with Randy. She is the Randy, like. And I was so scared for her. But the subway gets to its stop. Ghostface gets off. Everyone gets off. Ethan's like, holy shit. And then they get her off, and the EMTs come over, and she's like, damn, I was wrong again. It's not you.
It's so funny how she still keeps her sense of humor.
Yeah, I loved her. So yeah, I was very nervous for Mindy. But then everyone shows up where the shrine is. This is when Sam tells Danny, like, you're not coming in here. I don't know you, and I can't trust you. Even you told me not to trust you. And, you know, him in his very sexy voice goes, yeah, baby, yeah, I get it. You know, I'll stay out here. And I was like, oh, Danny. Samantha, don't be leaving your boyfriend alone so much, because, girl, he can get stolen real quick.
It's true.
But they go into the shrine. So it's only Tara, Chad, and Sam, and Kirby. Kirby's like, I have the keys, I have the gun, only I will have the gun, and that's it.
Yeah, because she's like, I have a badge. Like, I'm a police officer, so I'm the responsible one.
And Kirby looks kind of sus in the scene. Cut to 2 minutes later, Sam gets a phone call from Detective Bailey saying Kirby hasn't been working for the FBI for 2 months. She's gone down a spiral. She's losing her fucking mind. And I was like, oh, we're doing this.
I was like, what
we're doing this. They're doing this. They're fucking just bringing Kirby just to make her the fucking killer. And I fell for it. I fucking fell for it.
Me too.
So Chad and Tara are having another moment. They're kind of being very cute together. They end up they're kissing. And I'm like, Team Tad.
Yep. Tad.
But as they're kissing, fucking Tara gets stabbed in the fucking back. And Chad starts fighting off Ghostface. This is when they're fighting Ghostface. Sam shows up, and they run out to a shrine. Another one shows up, and I'm like, how many are there? I was freaking out. I was like, how many Ghostfaces are there? Is this really is there more than fucking 2? And then they're running away. They're getting chased. Chad is fighting it off. They end up back in the front lobby area where this is when this Ghostface getting his ass beat. Tara kicks this one in the face.
I'm surprised. I'm like, how does Ghostface never get knocked out?
You know, can you bring this back after we're done with the movie?
Okay.
Bring this back. So then when Chad is about to knock this motherfucker out, another one comes out of the blue and fucking stabs him, and he's getting fucking stabbed by both of them.
While staring at Tara,
saying "run." This scene is so fucking good, and then they both just finish Chad off. They stand up and they both do the knife swipe together, fucking in sync, and I was like, "This is so fucking awesome."
Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, "Wait, are they doing the cult thing?" And then because Sam and Tara leave, and then
they run out.
Another one comes out.
Yeah,
I thought it was another one, and I was like,
shows up from the stage, and I was like, how many are there? And like I was confused because that was fast. And then fucking Detective Bailey shows up with a gun, and then Kirby comes out of nowhere, fucking covered in blood. And she's like, it's not me, I'm being framed.
I was knocked out or whatever.
I was knocked out, and I was like, you just got your fucking head kicked really hard. That could be from that. Like,
that's true.
What the fuck are you doing?
And so then Detective Bailey shows up.
Yeah, and we're like, okay. And then they're fucking pointing guns at each other, and then you see Ghostface coming behind Detective Bailey, like going to stab, and then it stops. And you're like,
and he just shoots Kirby. Like he just shoots Kirby.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then the other Ghostface comes from the other side, and you're like, oh, there's like, 3 of them. I was so shook. I was so shook of. But then the first one takes his mask off and it's Ethan. I was like, fucking knew it.
Motherfucker. I was like,
fucking
you
knew
fucker.
it.
And
you
then,
were wearing plaid.
And then the other one shows up. It was Quinn. She
Quinn.
faked her death.
And I was like, I was so mad because I was like, wow, I actually clocked you, bitch, in the beginning, and then you died. So I was like, no, it can't be you anymore because you died.
You know what's funny? I literally turned around and I was like, we didn't see her get stabbed. This is Billy Loomis. This is giving me Billy Loomis vibes. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
She could still be alive.
Yeah, because her body was just pushed out, covered in blood. But I was like, she looked dead. She looked dead. Like they show her for like 2 seconds and she looked dead. So I was like, I was so shook of. And then it's revealed that they are Richie's family. So it's basically dad, brother, and sister. And I was like, of course, it's literally Scream 2, how Billy's mom came back for revenge.
Except it's a whole family. They all want to get him back.
It's so good. Detective Bailey was the mastermind. The brother and sister were just fucking there to do the killing, and this ending is just so good. So basically, it's just the sisters now by themselves trying to fight off all of three of them. The dad is saying how Richie was a good kid. He loved the movies and he'll do anything for his firstborn. Yada yada
and
yada.
All the shrine that was all for him because he was such a fan that he was like, "Well, I have the evidence. Here you go." He just bought it and got it for him.
So that was Richie's collection. Richie was a fucking obsessed fan. But yeah, I do like this because then everything basically goes to shit. They start fighting them. Fucking Quinn gets teeth knocked out of her fucking face, which I was like, good for you, Tara. The girls try to escape. Tara gets shot in the arm. She's hanging. And then Ethan's trying to slash her from down below.
And he's like, I've always wanted to stick something in you. And I'm like, everyone online as well.
Ugh. I fucking hated that. But this line was very Scream 3 because then she goes, fuck you, and he goes, fuck you.
Yeah.
Which is very like Sydney and Roman. Yeah. So then this is when like, Sam, you have to let me go. Like, you have to let me go.
And it's also because it's not only the context of what's happening, like as in like let me go to die because Ethan's gonna get me, but also the message of the sub message, which is like, let me go, I'm gonna be safe, I'll be okay, of the whole story. We have to live our lives pretty much. Even though I still want you in my life, but you have to like trust me, and I have to trust you. So then, excuse me. So then, yeah, she gives her the knife and lets her go, and Tara gets stabbed in the stomach when she falls on Ethan. But then she fucking takes that knife right inside of his mouth and down his throat, and deep throated, bro.
Yep, and then she twists it, and she goes, "You still die a virgin." Because earlier in the movie he said, "I'm gonna die a virgin," and yeah, which was really funny. And then fucking Sam at this point, she's fucking unhinged. She has that killer's face on. I forgot to mention how she stabbed the shit out of Ethan before this whole happened too. Like,
and he just walked it off like nothing.
Yeah. So then Samantha, since Tara took care of Ethan, Samantha takes care of Quinn and just fucking shoots her in the head. And then this is when Detective Bailey just sees that happening, and then Samantha with her fucking unhinged face, gone crazy. She's like, "Oh, it looks like you have no more kids anymore. No more kids." I was like, "Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah,
fuck you and your family." Yeah. So then, but then it's really funny because she tries to shoot him and she's like, out of bullets. She's like, "Oh fuck!" So she just runs towards him, and they both fall off the balcony.
Detective Bailey doesn't shoot at her. He just runs towards her too.
Yeah. So they fall off the balcony. We cut to black. He wakes up. He gets a call from Ghostface, and Ghostface is fucking with him. What's your scary movie? He walks behind the stage. Billy's costume is gone, and then Samantha shows up out of nowhere and stabs him. I think there's a line said that, she stabbed Richie 22 times, and I think I want to say people online saying that she stabbed him 42 times.
42? Damn.
we're gonna have to count it whenever the movie comes out.
Yeah.
But she stabs him a lot because she's going in a rhythm. She's like da 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 da.
But like 42, that's like a lot.
Da 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 da. Stab. But yeah, she stabs him a lot, and then when she's about to do the stabbing kill, Tara comes in the room and is like, Tara's like, seems a little afraid of her at first. And you're just like, oh shit, like Tara's like, oh damn, like she's fucking lost it.
Oh, my sister crazy.
Right. But then they kind of give each other a look, kind of like, oh, go for it, because it's like, you fuck with my family, you die, which was what Detective Bailey said earlier. So she used that line on him. So she kills him, and then Tara's like, huh, cool. And
she's like, I get it.
Yeah, and then I love how they're walking out of the stage. The Scream theme like music comes on, and it's directed by Richie Kirsch.
Yeah,
it's so fucking great. It's like the best end credits ever. Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
It's perfectly timing.
Yeah, and then Danny walks in with police officers. The girls have a very good moment here where they're like, I still want you to be in my life, but no matter what, and I promise I'm gonna go get therapy. It's like Tara accepts her being there. Like they're good now. Like it's all good.
She gets it.
She gets why. Yeah. And then they're outside. Mindy is alive. Chad is alive. Kirby's alive. They're all lived.
Everybody.
Tad have another moment where they kiss, and I'm like, yes, Tad. And Tara's like, damn, you might need this oxygen bag. Sorry, but I'm like, Tara, I get it. He's fine, and I know you can't wait for him to heal. Like,
yeah, for real.
I'm so happy they're together. And then Mindy shows up, and Mindy, she's like, it's Ethan and Bailey, and and they're like, and oh, sorry. And then everyone's like, yeah, we know. And she's like, damn, I missed it again. Which is really funny because she wasn't there in the first movie either.
Yeah, and you know what's funny though? She also walked that knife wound like nothing.
She sure did. And yeah, and then Sam has Billy's mask and she's staring at it, and we're like, is she gonna keep it? Because if she keeps it, that means she's going down a dark path. But no, she drops it like fuck this and just walks away with Tara and her fine ass man and Demi Lovato's song starts playing. Yeah.
And then happily ever after.
Yeah, and then the end credit scene, y'all, it's literally just it's I know people are mad. I'm like, no, I think it's kind of funny. We got fucking trolled, and I think it's really fucking funny. Where Mindy just goes, not all movies need an end credit scene, and it's like,
there we go.
Fuck you, Mindy, but you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you're watching that, you're like, damn, she's right. Why did I wait here?
Yeah. We were laughing so hard the first time when we went, and we're like, damn, I just got fucking trolled. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah, we did. But honestly, fantastic movie.
Yeah, if we missed anything, y'all, again, we apologize. I'm just going of what I fucking loved about this movie. Character development in this movie is so fucking great, and I want more of them. Like, Jonathan, I have not left the movie theater and while wanting to go see a movie so many times, and like it's been a minute for me. And yeah, there were great movies last year, but this movie I want to see more. I want more of this world. I want more of these characters. I want more of this, and I honestly cannot wait for the next one. And I kind of hope they go in the route of more comedy with they did with Scream 3. I hope if they're following that trilogy, I hope they kind of go in that sense. My thing is like, who could be the killer? Like, because Roman comes out of left field. Sydney's brother. So it's like, what do you think they're gonna do? I know I told you yesterday it'd be funny if Mindy's making a movie, and it's like the Ghostface fucking with her movie, kind of like, because I know she's going to film school or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, but I want more of this world. I want more of these characters. This movie is fucking great. Number one. This movie, amazing. I think they did such a great job to follow it up. Hey, we didn't even need Sidney Prescott in this movie for it to be good. Yeah. Like that's something. Gail. Gail said she deserves her happy ending. Yeah, and that's another thing. At the end of the movie,
they say that Gail survived. Like there's like a quick line that says that Gail was gonna be okay. So she's gonna be in the next one. You know, more than likely at least. So I'm just glad that the movie was good, and it's kind of showing the fans like, look, like we don't need to have Sydney for it to be a Scream movie. Yes, she is the face of Scream. She did help. You know, she made it to what it was. But the fact that she gets to have her ending, let her be happy. She moved on. She survived. She deserves that.
She passed the torch to Sam.
Exactly.
I'm not against her coming. I'm not against her showing up. I'm not against it. I'm really not against it. If it happens, it happens. But this proves that we didn't need her to be in this movie, because we really didn't. They weren't after her. They were after Sam. But I know I still live on the theory of Stu Macher. So if that happens, would like to be Sydney to be there. But I'm not going to talk about that because I know there's lots of
a lot of people get upset about that, and it's like it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
It's not. But
even though they say don't fuck with the original, and it would be kind of poetic that they ended with someone from the original. I don't know. That's just me saying.
And even though in this movie they play a lot with the "Do you believe Stu?" Well, they first of all we see him, and it says death under his picture 96. But then Kirby and Mindy have a conversation, which I didn't talk about, how they're gaming each other on horror movies, and then one of them says, "Do you believe? If you believe he's still alive?" Like. They're fucking. They're trolling us with Stu. I know they're trolling us.
Yeah, they know. They're doing that on purpose.
Yeah,
but it's just one of those things, because if Kirby is saying, "Do you believe he's still dead or he's dead?" She's part of the FBI. I feel like out of everyone, I feel like she would know if he was dead or not.
Yeah. Also, I do love that the last two masks that were used was, and I mentioned this in the last time we talked. It's like. They now, you know, they mentioned Nancy Loomis and how she was Samantha's grandmother and how it runs in the family, because that's the mask that Ethan had on, and then Quinn had on Stu's mask, and she goes, because he was my favorite, and I was like, yes girl, we get it. The only mask we don't see is Mickey, and Mickey only gets mentioned one. It's kind of like, yeah, Mickey, we get it.
Sorry Mickey.
I know.
You were just hot.
Yeah, and you also disappear for 45 minutes in the movie, so like,
just like Quinn.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Something I know that this is gonna get into the Stu being alive territory again, but it's interesting that they were, like you said, they were working on a plan for Stu, like on Scream 2. They had an idea and then they switched it up, but it seems like
it was three.
Oh, it was 3?
The original 3.
It's like, it seems like it would be interesting that if they were doing the scripts that they weren't able to do back then, so they're doing it in now modern times. So it's like
in their own way.
It's like Stu was supposed to come back for 3.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if like it's like a Stu and Jill team up, and I don't know.
Oh, and didn't the director say that like Jill could be alive still? Because we don't actually get confirmation.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm here for whatever.
Yeah, I'm not.
Listen, bring whatever to the table at this point, because after this movie, I see that y'all know what y'all doing. So, bring me whatever. I just want the next movie to be so fucking out of left field that's going to leave us shook of.
Yes. If it's a trilogy, I want this movie to have an ending where it's going to be like let me speechless. Well, like let me fucking.
The ending, it needs to be big. Like Randy said in the Scream 3, that trilogy, the ending of the trilogy needs to be bigger, and like it needs to top the last two. Like it needs to end the story in such a way how, for example, because I'm gonna watch this now with my nieces and nephews, Dream Warriors, how they killed Nancy at the end, and you're just like, oh,
yeah,
you know, like. Sorry, we started our nightmare binge watch yesterday.
No, I get it.
Yeah. But
Carlos, what do you rate this movie out of 5 stars?
I honestly give this movie a 5 out of 5. This movie was perfect to the T for me. This movie will be rewatched probably every single week of my life. This movie's just great. This movie's great. It bumped down Scream 4 and it moved up the list for me. Like
that's awesome.
I still love Jill. Don't get me wrong. She's still my number one Ghostface, but this movie just fucking blew my mind. It blew my mind.
Yeah, this was a fantastic movie. I get it. I gave this movie a 4.5, but my only complaint was because everyone survived. Like nobody died. Like
so, I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring that up because I was like, they did get us with the emotions when they were getting stabbed and stuff. I did cry throughout this movie, but then everyone lives, and it's kind of like,
like know. It's like,
but I know for a fact someone's gonna have to, or multiple people are probably gonna have to die in the next movie for it to be like no one's safe. Because, and I think they kept them alive only because how in Scream 2 everyone lived but Randy, and people were mad about Randy's death. They're like, we're gonna give you what you want, and we're not gonna kill off our Randy.
But in the next movie, no promises.
I was kind of like, damn it, like even everyone lived, like all the main characters all lived, and it's kind of like, but they did a good job at making us think they weren't gonna live.
Yeah,
if
and
that
it's
makes
true.
sense.
Yeah, and I think my thing was also like how I said, like Mindy, how she like got stabbed in the stomach just like her, like Anika, but then she was like fine like a minute later. So it's like there's little inconsistencies here and there, but honestly it's so minor. I was struggling. I was like, I feel like a 5 for me feels too much, so I was like, I think 4.5 is perfect for me. So because I loved everything else about it. I loved the new city. I loved the characters a lot more than I did last time. The kills were fucking fantastic. And then even the motive of the Ghostface were just great, and all of them individually were so fucking great. Especially Quinn, she was fucking scary. Quinn freaked me out.
Yeah, she was.
But I loved it. I think I love this movie. Damn, I think this one for me beat number 4 for sure. Like on my list, it's like it's fucking good.
It moved 4 down. It moved. Scream 2 moved up. Scream 5 also moved down, and so did 3. 1 stayed the same. I just I don't want to say my ranking in case we ever do a ranking video, but
we'll keep it. We'll keep it. But like 4 was one of my favorites, and I think this one's way better than 4. I think this was fantastic. And it's just a love letter to the second one, like you said at the beginning of the episode. I think it did a fantastic job to do what it wanted to do, and I loved it, and I cannot recommend it more.
I want the poster. Zach, I want a VHS.
Hell yeah, baby. And then the steel book, everything.
I want it all.
I want to watch it again. God damn it.
I want to hang out. I want to hang out with Samantha and Danny and the whole cast. I want to hang out with all of them.
Yeah,
let's go, baby.
Yeah. Oh, so you wanted me to bring up Ghostface never gets knocked out, even though Chad's throwing hands with Ghostface.
Yeah. So there's something that I want to, like, people want to complain about realism with here, because I know Quinn took down Gil's boyfriend, and it's like, yes, I get it. She's small. She's a girl. But that doesn't mean anything.
Hey, I was wrong with Amber.
Yeah, right. And then throughout, how do I want to put this so it makes sense? You kind of have to suspend your disbelief when you're just only seeing Ghostface. Because Ghostface to me is his own entity, even though I know at the end of the day we're going to get a reveal who was under that mask. But throughout the Scream franchise, there's a lot of kills that are super unbelievable, and that I'm like, I don't know how they got it. I don't believe that Mrs. Loomis could have gotten Randy murdered. I'm sorry. She caught him off guard, and she grabbed him from behind, but I still feel like Randy would have had a chance to fight her off. So, same with Amber got Dewey. Yeah, she got him from surprise, but Dewey could have soccer punched the shit out of her, even though he got stabbed. Like, I don't know. I just feel like when you're looking at Ghostface being Ghostface, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief and just see Ghostface as his own entity. Yeah. And then the reveals are something totally different, because they always end up anyways dying. It's like they take off the mask and they lose all their fucking power. Yeah. If that's you want to put it that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because like that was like thing. I was like, Chad was like, yo, like that Quinn would have been knocked out with the camera, with like anything that was there, and I was like, damn, she still gets up, and it's like,
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's
just
like
have to see Ghostface as his own thing.
but it's like they're also running under adrenaline. If you really want to be that realistic, fucking motherfuckers be lifting cars like with adrenaline when someone's about to die. Like shit happens when you have adrenaline running through your body. You do like impossible things. Like it's like
and like throughout the whole franchise, Ghostface somehow disappears and gets up like a ghost. And it's like you don't hear that. And it's like you guys kind of just have to just let it go for that aspect and just see Ghostface as his own. Because also you don't want to make it obvious that it's a weak ass person under that suit. Like, Jill was really funny when she showed up. Yeah. Short as fuck, stabs Sydney as Ghostface. Like, you kind of just have to let it go at that point.
But it's like 5. That's one of the things that 5 did really well. Is that you see these kills that, for example, Wes, like that Ghostface, he was holding on and he was still like, fuck you. Like he stabbed him in the fucking neck. But then with Dewey, she does the same move, but it's weaker. And I was like, oh, because it's Amber. Like, she's definitely not as strong. So it's like, there's still hints and stuff. Oh, shit, you just disappeared, bro.
I'm back.
So it's also, like, there's hints
I just want to... They were children of a detective. I don't know what kind of training detectives go through. He could have prepared him somehow for this.
That's true. Like, that's true.
So...
For any worst case scenario.
You just can't just can't take this way too out of serious. Just enjoy the movie.
Yeah,
enjoy the movie because this Ghostface was fucking unhinged, and I loved it every second of it.
So, this Ghostface was actually fucking terrifying. Best kill.
Ooh,
this is a lot of good ones. This is a lot of good ones,
and a lot of fake out ones too. But
yeah, that's a bad thing. It's that there's actually like 3 actual kills, because it's the opening kill with Samara, Jason, and then Anika,
the boyfriend, Anika, the bodega. There's 3 in the bodega.
Yeah, but like those are like kind of like just shooting. Like I guess that's true.
No, he stabs 2 guys and then he shoots 1.
Yeah, I guess they weren't like weren't like the main focus of that scene. Like they were just in the way. Because I think the Anika one, that whole entire scene was so fucking powerful that it's like it just adds to her kill even more. And that the way that he's playing with her and everything is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna go to her.
Because even I do love the opening kill, the setting for the Samara for Laura, the Samara Weaving's character, and even the 2 Ghostface. That whole scene was fantastic. But just the chase scene, like how playful this Ghostface is to Anika, just to scare her, like, it's a fantastic scene.
Yeah. Oh, and let's not mention that Laura is probably named after Sydney's fake name in Scream 3.
Oh yes. Oh. Wait, what's her
there's
last name?
There's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie.
Huh.
Danny's last name is Brackett. Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs.
There's a lot of
Easter eggs in this movie that I just can't think of in the top of my head. But like how Jason's watching Jason Takes Manhattan. The subway scene is full of characters from all
look, right. Movies. There's one right there.
Ready or Not. Yeah. There's a lot. We got
this motherfucker up here.
Yeah, this movie was great. But yeah, Anika takes the cake for that.
That's pretty much it.
Daddy of the...
Daddy of the movie. We already know.
Samantha Carpenter and her boyfriend Danny. I want to be in a throuple with them. And we were gonna live happily ever after, probably in New York City. But we're gonna make some great babies. All 3 of us.
Beautiful babies. It's just those 2 are a power couple. How crazy would it be? If so Danny was a 4th Ghostface?
I would be so angry, I think.
But
I don't know, we'll see.
But him in a Ghostface costume, think about that.
I know. I'm so happy he lived. I'm so happy he wasn't like Derek dies and you're just like, damn it. Like fuck. He got to walk away with them and it's like, yes, the hot boyfriend lives and he wasn't Ghostface.
So good though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, right? That's all we have.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all we have for today. So let us know what you thought of Scream 6. Where do you
down
place
below,
it in
please.
your ranking? Yes, and next week the plan is that we should be talking about. The plan is Leprechaun 2, because I know last year we talked about the first Leprechaun for like St. Patrick's Day around that time. So, we're going to follow the tradition. So we should be talking about Leprechaun 2 next week. And yeah, that's all for now.
I'm excited. Go check out our social medias, of course, Horror Daddies on everything. Check out our TikTok. We've been putting TikToks out there, so go support that. I appreciate everyone that has been liking and commenting. And yeah, we'll be back next week.
So, and remember,
stay spooky and stay sexy.
In New York City. See you in your dreams.
Horror Daddies.
Bye.